And if you don't believe me, then go to McDonald's right now and see a bitch who just now got a position of power. You ask for the manager, the first thing this bitch got her hairy chest out and shit talking about, I am the manager.
You're not gonna keep coming to me like that, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. We not gonna be together, flat out.
Okay, well, we ain't gotta be together.
He like, yeah, like you can pay for the room. I'm gonna fund the rest of the trip. You a whole scammer. You think I'm paying for a mother hotel?
So now, like, I'm not saying she ugly. I'm not taking that from her at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, she not the, like, what she looked at, like, on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So it caught me off guard.
Moral of the story is you should have just left this man and his booty alone.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
Many years ago when I did this post, viral because a lot of angry shit, a lot of angry bitches was like, well, you know what? There's a lot of deadbeat dads out here. She ain't talking about that. Well, guess what? I don't advocate for deadbeats. I don't even mention them because they're not even to be mentioned, because what's understood doesn't need to be explained. I only advocate for the men who are out here trying to do their part, and bitch, you getting in the motherfucking way. I got a problem with that. Some of you women had children for your own selfish reasons. And we already know that to be true, because the first thing you reach for is how to selfishly alienate the child from its father. You know when a woman is on that bullshit based off of the shit that she grabbed for first. Oh, if I can't alienate the child from its father, then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have conversations, full-fledged conversations about the father to the fucking child. Now I'm gonna make the child have to choose sides. Oh, okay, yeah, your father's a piece of shit. Well, bitch, add your name to the motherfucking list because you a piece of shit too. You a mother too. Don't want to hear that. Then you bitches take another step further and saying, well, oh, you know what? This ain't even your child. Go get a DNA test.
Get a DNA test? Get a DNA test? Are you sure you want to say that?
Yeah, I did it on my own. Yeah, wow. Bitch, that's what the you wanted. How else you gonna have a good ass Mother's Day? That's only how you bitches gonna have a good Mother's Day anyway. Brag about what you did on your own. You bitches like control. You like status. Y'all like titles.
You know what's wild? She gives you that feeling like she has older brothers. You know, she's masculine, but I think it's coming from that angle. This seems very genuine. Like she has men she cares about. And there are a lot of women who feel just like she does. They see what's happening and they don't say anything about it. It's like it's about time women start saying something about it. And a few are, just not as many as should be.
That's why I say it's not about kids. Y'all kids be out here thinking, oh, my mother got my best interest. No, she don't. No, she don't. Your mother out here lying like a lot of y'all don't even know that your mother out here lying like I can guarantee you right now, if you have a conversation with your father as an adult, you'll realize that your mother was out here lying like a lot of the shit she did was for her own selfishness. And see, here's the thing about it, that these fathers be more mature in that moment because they won't even engage in a conversation with that child about the mother. Like they be having more respect. Like, you know what, I'm not even gonna go there with the child, you know? I'm not gonna even tell my child how up his mother is, because at the end of the day, that's his mother, or that's her mother. So I'm not gonna do that. But the reality is, if these niggas would tell you the truth, and some of these fathers would tell you the truth, like, come on now. Your mother was out here doing that bullshit because she wanted to prove a point. That bitch like a good Mother's Day. She like a good story. We all know that the world these days, that's how they do. They keep pushing that narrative where all these women out here thinking that they can do the job for a female and a father. See how these bitches out here on each other now, you know? They want two bitches in the house now raising kids. That's why I say the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Whenever you got a female out here who playing that bullshit with you niggas and shit, you know, playing these games and shit, alienate you from your child, you gotta look at who gave birth to that mother. More than likely, her mother did the same shit to her, kept her from her father, you know? These bitches be on that toxic and on that hurt. And I need you guys to understand, I need y'all to think before you react. That's how these catch up to you. That's how they catch up. I'm gonna tell you something. Women, we play chess. We don't play checkers with you. So women be testing we be testing the water when we in a relationship with a guy. We try to figure out what makes him tick, what makes him react, what makes him respond. So now we armed with that knowledge. But now she gets a child out of you. You don't think that she's using that same against you for a later time? You talk about that now and later. That's the definition of a now and later. It's not just candy, bitch. That's the definition of that now and later. Like, I'ma hold on for now, but I'ma get your ass later. Told you these bitches is not trying to complete you. They trying to compete with your ass. And if you don't believe me, then go to McDonald's right now and see a bitch who just now got a position of power and see how the she responds. See how she act. You ask for the manager. The first thing this bitch got her hairy chest out and shit talking about, I am the manager.
She said, go to McDonald's, see a woman, not even the manager, because she said a manager, that went from the fries to the cash register. She's in front of the restaurant now. She's acting like she's that stuff. Now, there are a lot of ladies like this, guys. You got to be careful. You got to be careful out there. You messing with somebody, and you can see it too. You see the telltale signs. Look out for them, and don't ignore it. Don't let it slide. Don't let a red flag pass you by. You know, you got to be playing flag football, chasing them down. Grab the red flag. Flag on the play. Exit stage left. Seriously.
All right, back. Okay, all right, no problem. Same way how these bitches act when it comes down to children. The same way they act with child. This is my child. First thing they want to do is spit off their titles and their achievements and all awards and degrees you got.
You don't care.
And that's the same thing that these bitches be doing with these kids. It's just another level. It's just another layer. It's just another achievement. It's just another status. Some of these kids don't even know that, but that's what you are. That's what you have been to your mother. It's a status.
A status. And it's a sad thing. Why does it have to be this way? And it's not just in our community, right? It's not. See, things like this are not just happening in our community. It's actually happening in every community. And will it stop? No. As long as there are women who are modern, they think this way. Seriously. I said to my wife didn't know, and you guys heard me say it before, until she started editing this content. She's going, wow, I didn't know modern women were this bad. She even calls them now modern woman. But before I did this content, she had no idea what was happening. But this is what they bring to a guy's doorstep. If they're not living within the doors, right? And some guys don't know how to handle it. You get a woman playing these games, some guys may be new to it. And it catches them off guard. And they're going, wow, I can't believe she did this. I can't believe she did that. And you know, we share stories as men. We share stories back and forth. And the things some of these women do, it will blow your mind.
Story time on when I flew to another state to meet this young lady that's lit on the internet. And to me, I felt like he was cat. So yeah, I met him on the internet. I was in Bahamas like the beginning of January for my son. I'm sorry, the beginning of February for my son's birthday or whatever. And he DM'd me on Instagram like, need you. So I'm like, oh, I've been trying to get you me or whatever like that. So he like, you know, whatever. We gonna exchange numbers or what? So I'm like, yeah, because like, you know, he's some fine shit. I love dark skin. And when I say he's some fine shit, he's some fine shit or whatever like that. So on the internet, like, you know, he got 2 watches, big Cardi, 6 cars, supposedly own his house, and he youngest or whatever. Like that. Dressed nice, always designer down, like always posting mad money, etc. So, you know, like that's my type. I love.
Is this all about money?
Me a hood, get money. So he asked for my number or whatever like that. So I gave him my number and like he texted me. And I'm not gonna lie, like it was little signs that I didn't like. Like if you know I'm on vacation with my kids, like I remember I posted my drink or whatever and I didn't text him right back. And he's on my phone like, oh, you see me text you or whatever, but you posting. Like that right there was like you only have my number for like 20 minutes, like chill out. But I let him slide. So we planned to see each other or whatever like this, like whatever like that on this Saturday. Let's say this Saturday, right? And we planned for me to come Valentine's Day weekend or whatever. And he really was on some shit, like he was like, oh, come whatever, what day, what time, it don't even matter. Like whenever you could come, just come. So I chose that weekend because I'm free every other weekend for my kids. They go with their dad or whatever like that. So that was my free weekend. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I thought he was a fake page at first or whatever like that because it just was like too good to be true. So we would only text and like he'd tell me to FaceTime him, but by the time I FaceTime him or whatever, he not answering. Now he got an excuse or he don't FaceTime back. So I started thinking like I'm gonna get catfish if I go down here. So I told him, I'm like, look, this Wednesday, like the Wednesday before the Friday. So I'm like, FaceTime me before Friday or I'm not coming. So now he got all that energy. He FaceTime me, etc. I got him on the phone. Before you really couldn't, like he'd just be texting like that. So he FaceTime me, he was real, looked the same, looked good as I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready, etc. So Friday come and we talk and I'm like, you know, like you ready? Like I'm at the nail salon, I'm like, you ready? Like I can't wait to see you, I can't wait to meet you, etc. So he like, yeah, or whatever like that. But I feel like his energy was a little off because he was more excited days before. So I'm like, you good, love? Like you okay? Because I'm like, I feel like your energy is like kind of off, like you're not excited as you was. So he's like, oh, I just found out I got to get my daughter or whatever today. Mind you, it's the day I leave. Like I'm leaving at 10 p.m. at night to land. I think my flight would land like 12:48 a.m. originally. So I'm like, yo, I took our work for this or whatever, and I already checked into the flight. And he's like, well, what's the issue? Nobody didn't tell you not to come. Like, you can still come. I'm good. I'm gonna just get a sitter. If anything, her and the sitter just stay at my house, and we could just get a room. So I'm like, you know what? All right, that's cool. I'm all for that, or whatever the case may be. So I still go. Like, I get my nails and I run to the mall. I get everything I need. I pack my shit, and I tell him like, all right, I'm for the land at this time. I go to the airport. Mind you, y'all, I'm rushing because I'm always last minute. I get to the airport, I board the flight, or whatever like that. So before I boarded the flight, he texted me this hotel, like Signa or something like that. It's like one of the best hotels in Atlanta. So I tried to book the hotel online, but everything was booked up. So I told him, I'm like, look, everything booked up because it's Valentine's Day weekend. So he like, nah, you got to call. So I called and like everything was booked up. Like literally it was no hotel. So he like, well, find whatever you can find and just book it. And I'm gonna get you from the airport. So I'm like, you know, what's your budget? So he like, what you mean? I'm like, what's your budget? Like, I'll book the room, but when I land, I expect to get my money back or whatever like that. So I'm on a plane, y'all, and I took off. So then like, oh, the least you could do is pay for the room. So I'm like, huh? So this when the mishap coming because I get it. Okay, we supposed to stay at your house originally, but then your child came into play. So now we got to go stay somewhere else, which is cool because I think a hotel is better anyway because you don't know me and I don't know you. And it's more safer, I feel like. So he like, yeah, like you can pay for the room. I'm gonna fund the rest of the trip. Baby, you a whole scammer. You think I'm paying for a mother hotel for you to come for me? So he all like, yo, I feel like you could pay for something. I'm funding the rest of the trip.
What made you fly all the way out there? You don't know this guy from anywhere. Let me tell you what she bumped into, right? Because there's more to the story. She's not telling everything. But what she bumped into, everything that glitz and glamours is not gold, and what people show is not real. People can show their life on the internet, show their house. It could be someone else's house. You don't know until you're around that person every day, not just one day, because you could show a picture one day, unless you living with them. That's the only time you know. So many people out there trying to put on a fake life. It's wild. So the fact that you got throat numbing spray, you were ready to give it all. Throat numbing spray?
Or whatever the case may be. So we start arguing or whatever like that. So then the plane land and I'm like, you really arguing over a $300-something hotel, but you scamming, you hitting all these licks, all this big money you posting. I mean like $20,000, $30,000. You
She's not my responsibility.
can't book a $300 hotel. And I just felt like if you brought me to your city, you should make sure I'm good. Like if you came to my city and something happened, I'm going to correct it before you get there. I'm going to figure this shit out. Because I mean, why wouldn't I? Like it don't make sense. I didn't ask to come there. You wanted to come. Now I agree we wanted to see each other, but still, like, what? So when I landed, arguing, going all back and forth with shit. So I'm like, listen, cancel your sitter, stay home with your kid. Go ahead and bond. I'm cool. I ain't even link you no more, etc. Y'all, this was like, oh, you must be coming to come see another. What? I took off from my job, stopped one of my business to come see you. That's your response? Y'all, he kept arguing. I couldn't believe it because I'm like, bro, like, if you getting all this money and you got all this motion, all this shit going on, like, $300 is nothing. Like, if I book this hotel, you can't come. So that's what I did. I booked the hotel, and shout out to that Spirit flight attendant because, yo, he stayed in that airport with me and found me a hotel, y'all. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had nowhere to stay, like, at all. But I booked that hotel, y'all, and I left that on red. Like, I stopped responding, and I just made it into a solo trip. But I still was just, like, mad because I trip. Like, Atlanta, cool. We used to do that for New Year's, but, like, just to go and spend that much money, it was just, like, I could have went somewhere else. Like, that was kind of crazy. So, me personally, I just feel like his lifestyle got to be kept because I done dealt with some big money. I mean, rich, like, that's running businesses to get legit money. I done dealt with a rapper. I'm not going to say who he is because he is a big rapper that y'all listen to every single day. And money ain't complaining. They're not doing all that. Like, I'm telling you, they're not doing all that. Like, when you come see them, they have everything into play. Everything booked, itinerary set up, all that. Like, it ain't making sense. So, to me, his life is just kept. And to be honest, I never really seen him go out and do nothing or anything like that. Like, he not in the mall blowing no money. Like, he ain't no 5-star.
All right, guys. Now, I think she said enough. Now, she said all of that. I want to get into what the guy has to say.
She said some shit before this. Oh, yeah, he got mad with me because I was out of town and texting my kids and all that. Like, whatever the f it's supposed to be about. Anywho, that shit got nothing to do with nothing at all. You get what I'm saying? Fast forward to these messages. You get what I'm saying? Now, look. Now, check this out. She say, like, I supposed to pay for a hotel or we argued about a hotel or about, like, some money. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what really pissed me off. Like, that's what made me even get into this whole you did anyway, you feel me? Now, that's my whole thing. Now, I done made it clear that I was getting my daughter Friday. You know what I'm saying? I let her know at 4 p.m. on Friday, like, okay, well, I'm getting my daughter and I'm going to have her for the weekend, or the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Now, your flight don't leave until 11 o'clock, whatever the case may be. Your flight don't leave until 11 o'clock at night. Now, by your flight don't leave at 11 o'clock tonight, meaning, like, okay, Will, I ain't really trying to be mean to you, but, like, I'm giving you all the signs. Well, for this, all right, Will, I just told you my daughter coming. I done already let you know, like, beforehand. I'm not bringing nobody around my daughter. Like, it ain't none of that type of shit going on, especially no stranger. Like, it ain't none of that going on. I got too much respect for myself, you know what I'm saying, my daughter mama and my daughter alone. People be having weird intentions towards kids, whatever. What type shit, like, oh, yeah, well, we had plans and what the ever. Like, I don't give a fuck who you is. Don't nobody come before my daughter, you feel me? Now, mind you, like, okay, so that was that whole Friday. Now, look, I still text her on Saturday just to make sure, like, she was good, she was safe. Because at the end of the day, you're not from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Not from Atlanta at all. I'm not from Atlanta at all. But, like, it was just cold that night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, yeah, are you okay? You know, on some, like, checking up on her type shit. You feel me? See, oh, yeah, I had found a room. You know, none, like, everything was regular for real. Now, the shit really went left for real that Saturday when it came to the point where it is. She got to text me all, like, extra thirsty shit, like you got breath mints and like numbing spray. You know what I'm saying? That shit new to me. You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Brush that off. And then you got to ask me, like, oh yeah, have I ever gave my behind ate? I don't know if TikTok gonna like blur it out or some shit because of that. Hold on, what the this lady throwing me off now. You know what I mean? You throwing me off. You threw me all the way off. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm just like, nah, hell no. She won't be seeing me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna link up with you. I'm not finna have sex with you. It ain't none of that going on. Like, you know, I'm cool on it. I'm straight on it. It would never ever be a storyline. It wouldn't be a story time. It wouldn't be none of that. You know why? If I pulled up to see her at that hotel, had I had sex with her, if any of that went her way as far as in like sexual intercourse, she would have never made a story time. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, like, she was scamming me on some, like, hold on, what the fuck be saying like that to be like, you know, you scam me for real. Like, you know, like, hold on. You being a little bit too thirsty, you feel me? Now, my whole thing is, on top of you being a little bit too thirsty, right? I mean, on top of her being a little too thirsty, right? I'm just like, all right, okay, whatever. You feel me? Like, now, mind y'all, Rewind. We was texting this for like probably like a week and a half. I want to say we probably was texting for like a week and a half for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I ain't never been on the phone at all. Never been on the phone. No, we get on FaceTime for the first time. You feel me? It was like a 3-minute call or something like that. But when I first get on the phone, I got my face in the camera. She got her face in the camera. But she got on like these clear glasses. Now, when I say stop playing, put your face in the camera, you know, I don't know if that like rubbed her the wrong way, but I'm just in my head like, this not the same person that I was just looking at on Instagram. You feel me? So now, like, I'm not saying she ugly. I'm not taking that from her at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like she not the like what she looked like on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So it caught me off guard.
Hey, sound like that's a different story than what she was saying.
You really
right? That was the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Why did you say to the man, I want to eat the cakes? That's weird. If a man is not into that, he's not going to like that. Like he doesn't want, like a lot of guys, that makes them feel feminine. And a man, when it comes to sexual relations, doesn't want to feel feminine. Listen, I talked about it before. One time somebody tried that on me and they did it without me really realizing. My reaction was automatic. I automatically kicked her in the face, not being mean. That's just the natural reaction when something is being done and you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. It just happened. That's weird. You know, so he seen you was thirsty. Throat numbing spray? You want to eat my cakes? Too much. Too much. From looking at him, the man probably is living that life. He probably really is living that life. He may not have the best home, but he probably does. I'm looking at it right now. He has a arcade game in the back. He probably did this thing with the scamming. He's probably one of the best scam artists around. I don't know. But he was doing something. That's why she's ready to put it down. But she was thirsty and he wasn't hearing it. See, when you hear his side, which one sounds true? His.
Yourself, okay? But you win some and you lose some, like they say. But you're going to live. You're going to live to fight another day. But moral of the story is you should have just left this man and his booty alone. He from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I'm telling you. Chicago people sometimes can be a totally different breed, all right? Leave this man and his booty alone, ma'am. Let it go. Move on.
Yes, yes. And it's funny because when she said Chicago, I knew people from Chicago. They had all the scams. Chicago, that's the home of the scammers. Chicago, they had all kinds of credit card scams, SCN scams, everything. Yeah, back in the day, yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Let's get into the next one.
Y'all can leave that throat spray eater alone. Y'all can leave that woman alone. Because if you ask me, old buddy was scared. She was about to take him up and through there. Shawty had a concoction ready. It was just a whole trend on this app. We listen and we don't judge. The whole bunch of situations where y'all should have been judging. But now y'all judging her. Don't king shame her. That's what she like. Like, let her do what she want to do. All the time I say, oh my God, I can't believe you just met this man and you already then flew out there trying to do this. Look, it's a lot of y'all out here just met a man that had a whole baby with him. Whole baby bound. So let's not judge. She done scared that young man. She was putting a concoction together to make like the Powerpuff Girls or something. She had that chemical X in the bag ready to go. Ready to go. She put the shit in a whole different bottle. She said, nah, this gotta marinate. It gotta sit. It gotta bind correctly. Like the fact that she went through all that, she was dedicated, hard worker. She was going to do something to that young man that was going to change the rest of his life.
If you send a picture of throat spray to someone and they don't know what it is, so they ask, is your throat sore or something? I will be like, never mind. Turn this plane around. And the breast strips, but you ain't got no confirmation number. You know how many hotels are in Atlanta? And no confirmation number, but how did everybody know she was eating butt? Was it the throat spray or the breast strips? I don't know. The marriage bed under 5, but these are defiling things. How do people know stuff I didn't know?
Let's watch something together, and hopefully this can be a learning lesson for anybody that it may apply to.
You want a toxic? That's not what I am. I don't be on that, bro. I don't be on that. I'm not no toxic nigga who's toxic shit. I'm not on that toxic.
You sound toxic right now.
No, because I'm pissed off, but I'm irritated as fuck
right now, okay?
So clearly this couple is having a disagreement. He is trying to convey to her that he's irritated. He stops himself when he says, I'm mad. He's explaining to her, I don't do this toxic stuff. I don't do this back and forth. I'm irritated, but I'm not toxic. Yes, you are toxic. She ain't listening at all. Let's see what else happens.
Irritated.
Because I asked you to pull over so I can drive my car.
I said I would. It wasn't an
Okay,
issue.
so what's the problem? Why you still back and forth about it? We
Because
in the
you
car.
want to keep dismissing me.
Okay,
I told you about that shit.
Why you still talking?
He said that you are dismissing me, and I've told you about that. Well, convo over. Why are you still talking? While he is in the middle of telling her what his issue is, she is doing the exact thing. Let's keep going.
You said it was something with the windshield. You said you don't see
I did not. I said
Cool.
this. Does this bother you driving like
No,
this? All the
what you said, but it's cool. I'm driving. Let it go. All I said was pull over. Let me drive. Why is there a problem?
Ain't no
Because I want to
problem.
drive my car.
Drive your shit. No problem.
Okay, well, be quiet.
Hey, be quiet. Well, be quiet. It's over. Be quiet. He already told you that he's tired of you dismissing him. And here you are dismissing him again. And I'm only surmising that there's some kind of issue with the windshield, whether it is the defrost, the windshield wiper blades. Apparently, their view is probably obstructed in some kind of way. She's used to driving with whatever issue is. He asked, do you have a problem with your windshield like this? No, it turns into an argument, probably because she's offended. She's offended that you're talking about my car like that. And let's keep going.
All that conversation over, bro. Who you talking to? Like I'm some bitch or something, bro.
It was
You're not
dead.
finna keep.
Combo was over. All
You're
I
not
said was
finna
pull
keep coming
over.
to me like that, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
You're not finna keep coming to me like that.
And if I
Flat
do?
out.
And if I do?
We not gonna be together.
And if I
Flat
do?
out.
Okay, well, we ain't got to be together.
You're not finna keep doing
We
that
ain't
shit
got to
to
be
me.
together.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but what I heard was he identified the problem he was having. He told her what the solution would be for him to be fulfilled. He set clear boundaries on what could not continue to happen. And instead of that woman respecting any of that, she ended the relationship. Well, we ain't got to be together then. Instead of you admitting that you are doing something that is hurting this man, bothering this man, disrespecting him, you would just rather end the relationship. I want any woman that has ever heard herself sound like this, I want you to be honest with yourself. What kind of relationship are you in now? What type of respect are you getting from the relationship based on what you give? I was once one of these women, and I'm so glad I have been working on myself because no man wants to be disrespected and dismissed like that. And ladies, we really got to work on this. If you are with a man that you don't respect, leave. Because y'all treating these men with such disrespect is often how a lot of y'all's relationships end in tragedy or physical harm. And I know y'all don't want to hear that, but sometimes y'all be poking the bear and then be mad when the bear bites.
Yep. Exactly what happens. See, ladies poke the bear, but it's wild. And a lot of you guys say it all the time. I see it every video. You chose the bear. Yes, in so many ways. That's what they would rather have. As a pet, hug the bear, and then provoke the bear. She pretty much provoked a bear to hit her, a man that's mad, but he's not going to do it. What is he going to do? Leave. The right thing. I was thinking that when he said it, and then he said it, I said, that's what you should do, brother. Patience. I guess it's because I'm 43 years old. When I was in my 30s, my patience worn thin. It did. Just one day I said, I'm not going to tolerate this from any woman anymore. And I did it. Any problems I would get, I said, no, ma'am. I turned it to Al Bundy. No, ma'am. You remember we had a campaign? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Back, I think it was the 80s and 90s. It was in the 90s. Man, that campaign was something, wasn't it? On Love and marriage, love. Yo, Al Bundy is the OG red pillar. Don't sleep, but no ma'am. And that's what so many men are saying. Now men are turning into Al Bundy nowadays. And what was that on? What was the song? The theme song. Love and marriage, love and marriage. I forgot the. It goes together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother. You can't have one without the other. But you know what's the wild thing? When I did have patience, is when I got married to my wife. I said, because I realized there was a lot of things I didn't have patience with. I needed to change. I said, maybe I'm being too short, right? And why was I that way? From dealing with what I was dealing with in the West. And then I said, okay, I do have problems. Where I worked on myself, of course. She worked on herself as well, my wife. Yes, we're not perfect. And within, what is it now? Tuesday, in 2 days, we celebrate our 9th-year wedding anniversary. Go figure. Go figure. So I don't have to worry about certain things like women splitting fathers from their kids for selfish reasons. That's wild. That's what a lot of these girls are doing. But guys are saying, I won't deal with it, so I won't get into a situation where I have kids with you. Because most men realize it's definitely more to life than being involved with women like that.